Welcome back to Living Connected for 11 minutes. In this video, we're going to address something that gets asked of us all the time, is what our opinion is about our loved ones across the veil getting to meet or know our babies before they're born here. So I think that they know them in heaven. I think that they watch them grow up here on earth. And the stories that we're going to share, one of them is our own story, will hopefully help you open yourself up to that as well. So stick around. I'm going to start with our own personal story. Kenadie, our daughter, passed away when she was 10 years old, and our other daughter, Mila, was only 5 years old. And shortly before Kenadie passed, you and I had decided that we wanted to have a third child. And we didn't tell anybody, and I wasn't able to conceive for some reason. We didn't know what was going on, but like I said, we hadn't told anybody. But right before Kenadie got sick, she mentioned, just out of the blue, she was 10 years old, and she just said, I want you guys to have another baby. And she kept talking about how it was going to be her little brother. And I was like, honey, that's not how it works. But I didn't tell her that we were trying because, if we couldn't have another baby, I didn't want her to be disappointed. But we just thought that was funny that she did that. And right after that, she got sick, and we lost her a month later. And in that last month, something that comforted her was talking about her little brother. She was just obsessed. She wanted to talk about what we were going to name him, what they were going to do together, all the different activities, all the things that she would teach him. I mean, it was just an obsession, I would say, and something that we talked about a lot as a family in her last weeks. And after she passed, we had to make a decision if it was right for our family and for us if we wanted to keep trying for another child, and we eventually decided that we did. But I still couldn't get pregnant, and at that point, I felt pretty broken, so I didn't know if that was something that was even going to be a possibility for me. But what was interesting is that I started meeting this little boy, and I saw him in meditations, and I saw him in dreams. And we talk on here that we have worked with mediums that we've trusted in the past that have helped us to feel more connected to our daughter. And every time I had a session with a medium, Kenadie would show up with a little boy, and she would tell the medium that it's her brother and that they're playing, and the medium was always confused, like, oh, I didn't know you lost 2 kids. I'm like, I didn't. It was just, I'm like, it's this little boy that just keeps showing up, and you even saw him. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I had a dream.
Yeah.
And she was like sitting, was she on the couch or on
she
the floor
against
the couch?
It.
And there was this little boy just crawling all over her and like being the annoying little brother. And she just looked over at me and gave me this look, like a little bit of like fun annoyance or whatever that he was just pestering her. And like, I didn't have very many dreams about her that I remembered. And that was one. And I think I told you about it kind of right away. And at the time I didn't really think much of it because I didn't know who the little boy was at the time. You know what I mean? It's just like, she's getting pestered by this little boy. And she looked over at me with this look of like annoyance with a smile on her face.
Like, I love him, but this kid's annoying me.
Just like the little brothers are supposed to do, Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting. But meanwhile, I'm going to doctors and specialists, and they're all telling me that at one point they told me it would be impossible for me to have another baby without some sort of medical intervention. And we had decided that we weren't going to do any sort of medical intervention. So I was very confused. Like, how is this little boy going to find his way to us? Is he really meant to join our family, or, is it going to be down the road? Like, I even wondered if he was going to be my future grandson. Maybe Mila was going to have a little boy someday or something. But in my heart, I felt like he was meant to be mine and to come here and be my little kiddo. And so 1 month after 2 specialists told me point blank, you will not be able to get pregnant on your own, I was getting ready to get into the shower. I was home by myself, and I just, in my mind, heard this little voice tell me to take a test. And I knew it was Kenadie, and I knew exactly what she was talking about. And I remember thinking, no way. But I did. I took a test. Nobody was home. I was by myself, and it was positive. You know, of course, I wanted to tell you right away. The next thought that just popped into my head was wait until tomorrow to tell Daddy. And I knew exactly why she wanted me to wait, because the next day was her birthday. So she was really big on giving gifts, and she wanted to give her dad a gift on her birthday, and she sure did. So I surprised you with the, shock of a lifetime that we were expecting. And I knew, of course I knew it was going to be this little boy. Oh, I forgot. A month before I took that test, or maybe a few weeks before I took that test, as I was falling asleep in bed, I was meditating, and I felt it it was like my stomach felt huge. Like I was 9 months pregnant. I could feel a baby in there moving and kicking, and I was in that space between awake and asleep where, I was with it enough to stay in it and really feel it. And I felt like I was getting to communicate with him, like through his movements and his kicks. It was really incredible. And the next morning, I remember telling you, like, he's coming. Like, I know it because I asked him. I said, like, are you going to join our family? And, I felt this kick. I just knew. And so sure enough, the next month we find out that we're expecting. And so with all of that, you would think that I would have been very comforted knowing that Kenadie and our future son had a beautiful relationship for years. They played together across the veil. I have no doubt that she was teaching him all the things that she wanted to teach him. But all of a sudden, I just got this overwhelming sadness come over me because I wasn't going to get to see her hold him. Like, he was going to get to come home from the hospital. I was going to have pictures of Mila holding him, and there were going to be none of Kenadie. And I remember telling you, I'm so sad that she'll never hold him. And that day, I believe it was the same day, maybe the next day, we're driving around. We're about 45 minutes away from our house, and there's a store that we've never been to called Hobby Lobby, and it's kind of a newer store in our area. And it's a home goods store. There's home decor in there and crafting things and furniture, and there was nothing in there that I needed. But all of a sudden I knew that we had to go there, and I said, we've got to go to Hobby Lobby. You said, what are we doing there? I said, I don't know. But he's used to this. So we go to Hobby Lobby, and I'm walking through the store, and it's like, gosh, what are we looking for? I have no idea, but I'm going to know when I see it. And I turn the corner, and I see this picture in front of me, and it was this. And it's a brown-haired angel holding a baby. And I said, that's what we're here for. And it was just Kenadie's way of reminding me that of course she has held him, and she let me have a picture. So I just, this one's a really special moment that reminded me that my human side needed to be reassured that she had held him, and I did get to have a picture in this way. Because on a soul level, I knew that they were very connected, but my human mommy side was very sad that I wouldn't get to see it with my own eyes. Mm. And so that was an incredible reminder from her, and a really special way of showing me that, yeah, I held him for years. Like, she knew him so much better across the veil than we did at that point. Mm-hmm. And she found a way to let me know.
Yeah, and it's not, you're still sad that she's not here to hold him and play with him in the living room, but it's just two different things, you know what I mean? So it's not like that's a replacement,
right, for
the feelings you felt about losing her and her not being here with us physically now or whatever, but it's a comfort It's a new thing that kind of like takes a little bit of the pain.
Yeah.
So.
And what's really neat, what we've come to realize is that her relationship with Salem, our son, didn't end the moment that he was born. She's still with him. She's still watching him grow and experiencing life through his eyes. And that's what all of our loved ones do. So when we're really sad that, for people that have lost their moms or their dads before they had their kids, and they're sad that they didn't get to watch them grow up and be their grandparent. I mean, yes, be sad that they're not here physically getting to interact with your kids in that grandparent way that you wanted them to. But hopefully the next story will comfort you that your parent isn't missing out on a thing. They get to experience your child growing up, and they love them to pieces just like they would if they were here. So yeah. I'll let you read this one.
Okay, so this was a story that Judy sent us. I'm just going to read it word for word how she emailed it or messaged it to us. So it says, when my daughter Madison, or Maddie, was around 2 years old, she and I were sitting on the floor in our family room doing an alphabet puzzle together on the coffee table. Maddie was chatting adorably with her little sing-songy voice, and I was just admiring how darn cute she was. I started to feel a little emotional because my dad died right after I got married and never saw me have children. I was feeling sad that my dad never got to meet Maddie. I knew he would absolutely adore her. I was talking to my dad in my mind, asking him if he could see Maddie, what he thinks of her. At that same moment, Maddie accidentally hit the corner of the alphabet puzzle and knocked it to the ground. It flipped over on top of all the letters. Maddie immediately tells me she's sorry, and I tell her it is okay, it was an accident. I flip over the puzzle and start gathering the letters. I noticed 3 letters had fallen away from the puzzle, oddly not even near the puzzle. All the other letters were under the puzzle board. I grab the 3 letters, and when I open my hand to look at them, I see they spell out joy, J-O-Y. I got goosebumps and started crying. Maddie was so confused, I told her I was missing Grampy. Maddie hugs me and tells me, Grampy is silly. I tell her yes, he was very silly. Then Maddie says, Grampy had a circle on the back of his head that didn't have any hair in it, and starts laughing her sweet little laugh. I am blown away because my dad had a bald spot in the back of his head. I have always kept a photo of my dad in our family room, and Maddie loved to look at it and kiss it. In the photo, the only one she had ever seen of my dad, he is smiling and you can't see the back of his head. Then I knew my dad has seen Maddie and she is his joy. So, I mean, it's just, there's just no question about it, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Just, they're always there. And like in our last video, I think we had another story that is kind of, has this feel with the Aiden Diana story. So like, go back and watch that video too if you like this story, because it's another one of many that we have that shows that they're there, especially when we asked them for a sign. They're there anyway. Mm-hmm. But when we ask them like to show us, or they know that we're sad they're not, they can find ways to prove that they are, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And this woman, Judy, is actually the same one from the story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Same person. So she's very open to being connected to her dad. And these are the kinds of experiences that she's been allowed to have with him because she is open to still getting to be connected with him. And, you know, she was talking to him in her mind. That's what living connected is. It's not, you don't have to be born a medium to be connected to your loved one across the veil. You just talk to them. Talk to them like they're right there in your mind. Open up your imagination to allow them to respond. And what's really neat is that it can turn into being more than your imagination. So let's say you're talking with them and you imagine that they would respond in a certain way. That's okay. Just keep the conversation going. And then eventually ask them for proof. Ask them to help you think of something, or to have an experience in front of you that happens that lets you know that you really are connected with them. And it's a fun practice, but it is a practice. So it might not happen on day one, but just keep going with it. And it gets easier and easier to the point where I feel connected to Kenadie at all times, every day. That doesn't mean that I am without grief all day, every day. So I want to clarify that, but I know I've connected with her so many times to know that she's always right here. And that comforts me. And I don't want to grieve without her being by my side. And I realize that I don't have to. She's going to help me. And she's going to help me live life to the fullest, even though she's not here in the physical. And all of our loved ones are happy to do that. So that's what we're sharing and talking about here, is how to live more connected. And we wished that we could have had someone kind of hold our hand and help us, especially in the early days when we didn't even know that this was possible. And we definitely didn't know that we could connect with Kenadie.
No.
And I just felt like, gosh, I wish there was someone that could kind of hold my hand and say, try this. Or I felt really alone on my grief journey, and I felt really alone on my connection journey.
Yeah.
And my healing journey, all of it. I felt really alone. And at the time I thought, maybe that's just how you're supposed to do this. Maybe it's something that you're supposed to experience all alone. And I was with you, but we were very much alone. And I don't think that's true, since we started 411 and the community has expanded into what it is right now. It's this beautiful place where we all get to connect and share stories and talk about wanting to live more connected to our loved ones across the veil. I've realized how much it's helped us being connected to people.
Yeah, well, it's important to see that other people are doing it and going through it too, because that's inspirational and it motivates you to maybe try a little bit harder, whatever, because when you're just sad all the time, you're just sad all the time and you don't really have the energy or the drive to try to pick yourself up. So I think it's helpful to hear stories of other people and things that they give you that little bit of hope that you can do it, and it is hopeful and it is real.
Yeah.
And there are other people out there that are believing the things you're believing, and it's helping them like it's going to help you, and it just gives you ideas of things to do and things to try. And so that's kind of what we're all about. So
yeah. And we've launched, I believe by the time that this posts, we will have launched the 411 community. And it's the space that we wished we could have found when we were trying to learn how to live more connected. And so it's going to include everything that we've done to figure out how to live this connected way. And it's a beautiful way to live life. So I think it can help other people that are grieving or just struggling, going through something hard in their life, and they're just looking for more, and they want to feel more connected to a loved one across the veil, or to their spirit guides, or to themselves, to their higher self, to God. Who do you want to feel more connected to? Who do you want help from? Angels? Okay, do it. Yeah. That's what this space is going to help people learn how to open themselves up to that and remember how to do it, because we all come here knowing how to do it. And it's just, I believe, just remembering that we are connected and that we are all capable of it. And so there's going to be information in the description of all of our videos about that community space, because like I said, I really do believe that it's the thing that we wish we could have found, and now Kenadie's helped us create it. So it's there for anybody that's interested in it. And also, if you guys ever have any questions or any topics that you want discussed, or, want our opinion on something, you can always put that down in the comments and we'll see it and try to address it in a future video.
Yeah, and you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. A lot of stuff on there too, just to go browse through with stories of connection and practices and just life experiences in general. So
yeah, thanks so much for being here, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully in the next video.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys so much, and thanks for watching our videos and tuning in. Yeah, it means everything to us, so thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video. We just want to take a quick minute to talk about our 411 community that we launched recently.
This is a space that we wished existed after our daughter Kenadie passed away. Inside is everything that we've learned about in these last 8 years about living connected to our daughter across the veil and to the rest of our spirit team that's just waiting to help us. And we have found out that everybody can live connected. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can check out the community at 411together.com. It's something that we wanted to make accessible to everybody that's out there.
There is a cost. It's only $4.11 per month. just to keep that program rolling. If you guys want to check it out, we appreciate it so much, even if you just want to look into it. We think it's a really valuable tool. You can also follow all of our free content here on YouTube or on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We also have a free guide that we're offering that you can find
down in the description with all the other links. Thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it more than you guys know.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys a ton. We couldn't do this without you.